Namaste. Welcome everyone to your yin class, rest and reset. So before we start, let's make sure we have everything that we need for our practice. We're working with the liver and gallbladder meridians today, lower body meridians. So it's nice to have a blanket that you can put on the earth so you can pad yourself. You can have your bolsters or your bolster equivalents, so rolled up towels, rolled up comforters, large pillows, whatever can be a good substitute for those, and maybe a couple of cushions. I think then you're set to go. Don't forget your folded blanket. Okay, let's start off in our easy pose, seated, Sukhasana. Ground down through your sit bones. We're working with the 5 elements theory, and today we're focusing on wood. So visualize yourself as a tree. And as you sit here, imagine the roots growing down into the earth. Your abdomen and chest are rising up from the earth as if they are the tree trunk. Your head and arms are the branches. So imagine that you are a tree, a great oak, a silver birch, an elm, any tree that grows in your garden or in the woods where you enjoy walking. Let's bring our palms face up, our hands, and bring the thumb and index to touch in Gyan. If you wish to turn them face down, you are invited to do so. And connect with your breath here. Let's flow with the breath. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I draw inspiration. Breathing out, I surrender. Breathing in, I grow tall. Breathing out, I root into the earth. Breathing in, I reach towards the sky. Breathing out, I ground into the earth. Breathing in, I arrive in this present moment. Breathing out, I release and let go of everything before now. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Take 3 more breaths in your own time with your own natural rhythm, following this cycle of your breath in, out, rising, falling, inviting, releasing. Bring your hands together at your heart center in Namaskar. Opening our practice by chanting Om 3 times. Inhale to prepare. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Hands to your eyebrow center. Namaste. And welcome to your rest and reset yin practice. So the element of wood is connected to the season of spring and all the qualities of spring. New beginnings, fresh intentions, new growth, an enlightened vision, dreaming, focusing on your life's purpose. So this optimistic, hopeful, looking forward energy. It's also a time to reflect before moving into this renewal, this awakening, rebirth. And the organs and meridians that we're working with are the liver and the gallbladder. So let's start by some gentle tapping for our lower body here. So we're going to start with the liver. So if you perhaps place one leg on the earth, like so, with your foot on the earth, knee bent, and then perhaps fold in the opposite hand, the knuckles. So the liver, we're going to start off at the big toe. So just tapping along the big toe and traveling up the inside of the leg. So the liver is the yin side, the inner side of the leg. So let's come up to the ankle. Maybe you tap a few times around the ankle. And then as you move up your leg, you'll feel the bony shin here, and just where the shin meets the muscle, tap in that area there. And you might want to pause about sort of halfway up the leg, and then carry on all the way along the inside of the knee. And you're going to travel along the inner thigh. So the liver organ and the liver meridian are connected to emotion of anger and frustration. And so this practice today is about being able to release this anger and frustration that we feel. So just traveling onto the inside of your groin, and then come back towards the middle where your belly button is, and then zigzag up towards the rib cage, and then underneath the chest here, and then up along to where, so it starts off at the big toe and it travels up towards the 6th and 7th rib in line with the nipple. So that is our yin meridian pathway. So let's trace the path of the gallbladder. Now the gallbladder starts up here at the neck, and then it runs down the back before crossing over the shoulders. So we'll just come to the shoulder, and then travel along the outside here of your chest. And then let's cross to the middle line, and then back out, zigzag here, so trace the ribs to the outside, and then to the outside of your hip. And then we go to that buttock area, so you might want to just sit forward, and so you can maybe pat your buttock here. And then now we're traveling down the outside of the leg. This is the yang of the meridian pair. And the gallbladder connects to courage, strength, the ability to see clearly. Let's pause around the ankle, and we're going to travel all the way to the 4th toe here. Now let's swap legs. So let's start at the big toe for the liver. And then travel again up the inside of your leg, patting gently. And perhaps you connect with your affirmation here. And your affirmation could be related to being able to release emotion, express yourself, be able to assert yourself. So this is about being able to work through these emotions like anger and frustration and impatience that can be overly expressive and overly assertive, but we want to be able to manage those, govern those emotions so that we can express them in a way that is with patience and with compassion. Perhaps you connect your affirmation to having a new intention. We have a new moon this week, a great time to set intentions, having a fresh vision, perhaps refocusing on your goals. So traveling along the inside of the leg, along the groin, and then let's move to the middle here, just below the belly button, up towards the belly button, and then out to the opposite side, tracing the path along your rib, and then back underneath your chest, and up towards the nipple and the sixth rib here. We're not going to be able to trace it completely because, especially if you're women, we've got a lot of fat here. And then let's go down the outside of the leg and the body. So let's start at the neck and around the shoulder. Just use my opposite arm for this. Down towards the outside of your chest here. And let's zigzag to the middle, back out. So you sort of want to create a zigzag underneath your ribs here. Then to the outer hip. And then travel along the outside of your leg. Repeating your affirmation, I am, I release, I intend, to the big toe. And there we go. So we're just going to trace the inner liver, and this is on our face. So if we just travel up the neck and just use your two fingers here to your jaw, you can go both sides. So around your jaw, and then trace a line up to the middle of and underneath the eyes. Then the top of the eyebrows, and along the forehead, top of the head. And then let's travel back, top of the head, top forehead, top of the eyes, underneath the eyes. And now we're going to travel all the way to underneath the lip. And let's release. Let's come into our first pose, first asana. We're going to come into a neck release here. So let's drop our head over towards the left. I invite you to take your right hand, the back of your hand, towards your back, so that you create more of an extension on the right side here. So the more you cross your lower arm across the lower back, the more extension you'll experience here. And so this is here where we're working on the gallbladder meridian. The gallbladder inspires flexibility, hope, a vision for the future, so that we're less rigid and have more flexibility and be more pragmatic in achieving our dreams, our hopes, so that we are adaptable and we can change with the winds of life. Bring your head back to center, return that right arm, and let's drop our ear towards the right shoulder. And again, you have the option of taking your left arm behind your back. If you wish, you can always take hold of your right elbow if your arm crosses all the way at the back. I just tucked my fingers into the inside of my right elbow. So just like the strongest trees are able to sway in the wind and move with the winds of change and adaptability and be flexible. If you think about the qualities of bamboo, for example, it's a strong, release your arm, bring your head back to center. It's a strong material. It's flexible, it sways, it bends. Let's bring the soles of our feet together in butterfly. Lengthen here. So now you know from the inside here, the liver, and the outside is the gallbladder. You can always massage your big toe here. Maybe applying some pressure on your big toe. Maybe your fourth toe. And you can just a little bit of pressure for the others. We're going to come into a forward fold here. So you can come directly into a hinge directly forward, or if you wish, you can use your bolster or your large pillow. So you can create a little bridge for your bolster or large pillow. So you can either place them on your blocks, if you have blocks, or large books will do just as well here. Shake out my bolster actually. There you go. So that's one way of creating your bridge, and then rest your eyebrow center. And another way is to stand your bolster at an angle. And that can also create, so the resistance of your head and the earth sort of holds the bolster in place. And then soften here. So soften through your shoulders in particular. Soften through the hip flexors. Take a full breath in, out through open mouth. To release and discharge emotions such as anger, frustration, impatience. When we repress and suppress these strong emotions, we turn them inward and we bring ourselves into a place of stagnation, of an inability to move forward. These emotions can block us on an emotional level and on an energetic level. So finding ways of being able to express your emotions, releasing your emotions, being able to be assertive enough to speak the truth of your feelings without an explosive, overwhelming response or reaction. If you feel as if you've created a little bit more space in your hips, you can lower the bolster or remove the bolster completely. in yin, if you think about the body as a tree or a plant, a woody plant, and think about how it yields, softens and yields to the elements, harmonizes with the cycles of nature. And then notice how your body softens and yields and surrenders in yin. Holding ourselves rigid prevents us from being able to adapt, sink deeper, soften into the pose. So cultivate this sense of giving, of releasing, of softening, of surrendering in your body. And when you're able to soften and release and surrender, you create space for new energy. Or you give space for the energy to flow freely. Chi. One more breath here. Inhaling, lift your gaze, uncurl your spine. Let's take a moment here. I'm going to come into a rotation. So leave your right leg in front of you and take your left leg behind you. We're going to come into a deer first before we move into a rotation actually. So have your bolster or pillows or cushions in front of you, or you can come directly to the earth. So your left leg is behind you. You have this zigzag in your legs. Keep your torso over your right shin. Lengthen first to grow up towards the light, the sky. And then as you exhale, hinge forward and come to rest on your bolster or your pillow. You can have your eyebrow center resting on the backs of your hands. So this option with the pillow or bolster, or you can come directly to the earth. You can always create a little pillow with your hands. So you can curl up your fingers and create little fists and then stack them and rest your eyebrow center on your gently folded fists. Like when you do. Breathe into your right hip here. With the breath guided to the space where you feel tension or contraction. Use the breath to create space and expansion. The emotional imbalance with the element of wood is a stubbornness, a rigidity. And just like a rigid branch will break if it does not bend and soften, then think about how you can bring that quality of softening to yourself, to both your physical self as well as your emotional self. This softening allows you to change with time, to yield to the forces of life, to be able to adapt and continue to stay connected with your vision, your life's purpose, your dharma. From rotation here, from deer here, we're going to lift our gaze and walk our hands back towards our body. Let's do a little counter twist over to the left. So just take hold of your left ankle and right knee. Now we're going to move into our twist. So I'm going to turn around, but you stay with your legs where they are. Move your bolster and pillow to the right side of you. So you can have it long ways, or you can have it at a little bit softer angle. So the angle will help you to twist deeper or less of an intense twist. So let's place our fingertips on the earth and inhale and lengthen as we turn our heart completely over to the right thigh this time. So we were over the right shin, now we turn over to the right thigh. And then as we exhale, let's come down towards the earth, to our bolster, pillow. This is zero rotation. If it feels too low for you, you can always angle your bolster so that you have an angle there. Create a tower so that you have more of an incline on your bolster. Play around with the height of your books, your pillows. You can stack some pillows underneath your large pillows, some cushions. So this is where we adapt the practice of yin so that our body can meet the practice in a way that is sustainable and safe. Your eyebrow center can be resting on the pillow. You can have your right ear on the pillow. If you turn your head and have your left ear on the pillow, then that's sort of adds a corkscrew effect to your twist. And it helps to turn your palms up. That helps to soften through your shoulders. When the element of wood is balanced in our bodies and in our emotional state, we have confidence. We move with intuition. We invite in patience. We are able to grow from this place of patience and compassion so that we can safely express our emotions, assert ourselves, give truthful expression. One more breath here. Inhale, lift your head and walk your hands back towards your body. Come to center and then exhale over to the left and a little counter twist again. And now we're going to switch it around so that we come onto our other side. So let's bring the left leg in front and take the right leg behind. And again, we're going to lengthen and then fold over our left shin, either coming onto the bolster or down towards the earth. So grow tall first and then exhale and fold down towards your bolster. So it'll either be on your bolster or on the earth. And again, softening. Allow yourself. Give permission to your body to soften, to release tension. The imbalance in wood can mean sometimes we retain nervous tension. this nervous energy that transforms into resentment, this accumulation of tension is held within our liver. So releasing this energy by working on our liver meridian. The liver helps us to detox. It's the organ for organizing, planning, coordinating our body's responses. It's known as the general of the army. Inhale to lift your gaze, followed by your body. Let's do a counter twist over to the right for a moment by taking hold of your knee and your ankle. And now we're going to move into the twist. So let's bring your bolster and pillow over to the left side. So again, position your bolster or pillow. If you want to lift your bolster and pillow, place cushions or your blocks underneath. You have an option of coming directly to the earth as well. So let's inhale and lengthen, and then exhale and twist over to the left. And then as you release your breath, come down towards the earth. You can rest your eyebrow center, the left ear, or add a corkscrew twist by bringing your right ear to the bolster or pillow. So the liver being the general of the army, it helps us to plan what needs to be done in order to move forward. So imagine this sense of guiding the energy forward. This general of the army organizing the troops. So if we find that we're feeling stuck, stagnant, we procrastinate, we hesitate, working on the liver helps to activate this forward moving energy, driving forward with purpose. The liver, so we were tapping underneath our eyes and around our eyes, the liver meridian is connected directly to the eyes. The eyes give us vision, dreams, aspiration, hope. Three more breaths here in your deer rotation. And then with helping hands, rising up. Come to the front, place your hands on your knees. And then exhale to counter twist to the right. Inhaling back to center. I'm going to move into dragonfly. So let's leave the bolster over on the left first so we can work to that side, or your pillow. So extend your legs here. Now you can have your legs on the earth. If you wish to bring a little bit more support, I invite you to place cushions underneath your knees. That sometimes gives you a little bit more support underneath your knees. You can also fold your cushions. Cushions. Okay. So that can give you a little bit of support here. I'm going to keep my bolster or pillow to the left because we're going into a lateral dragonfly. So your legs can be really wide or they could be less wide. Now soften through your toes, your knees. grow out of your hips and pelvis here. We're going to bring our left elbow onto the bolster, and we can create a little folded fist so that we create a little pillow to rest so you can rest your jaw, so to the side of your face here on your pillow. This right hand can reach overhead. So you can take your right hand to the back of your head, to the front of your head, and rest it on your head wherever it feels comfortable, so that you have some space here underneath your armpits. And so you'll be feeling this running in the hips here all the way down. So I can feel tension running along my legs here. We won't be here for long. If you think about how we move from anger or resentment or a suppression of these emotions, so either the expression or the suppression of these emotions can lead us into either causing stagnation within or an explosive response without. And if that happens, in order to move from these emotions, we invite in forgiveness and compassion. Forgiveness and compassion for ourselves for reacting or responding in this way. So this forgiveness is an example of this yielding quality, this softening and surrendering quality that we cultivate with the element of wood. And then if we think about how it connects to the season of spring, and remember we can have a spring practice in the depths of winter to shift the energy. So these practice can be all year round for when you need it to support your emotions or support you physically. Let's inhale, release that right arm and come up slowly. Take a moment here. Let's bend into our knees deeply for a moment so that we can just release this tension. And if you wish, you can sway your knees from left to right. Ensure for them to release the tension that might be accumulating in the hip flexors. And we're going to go the other way. So again, let's support ourselves with our cushions underneath our knees if we wish. Have your bolster over to the right side now, or your pillow to the right side. Lengthen first, and then let's exhale and bring our right elbow and support our head by creating a little gentle fist, this pillow, and then reach overhead with our left hand. Lateral dragonfly. So we're talking about the season of spring and this energy we can bring in at any time of the year. Season is a time for reflecting on all that has been building in reserve during winter. So we've been conserving energy in order to give new growth, to feed new growth, to help the new growth band forward. So the seed has been lying dormant, being nourished during winter, and then in the spring it bursts forth. So this kind of energy is if we're feeling depressed. So depression is one of the aspects of internalized and suppression of anger. Then working on the liver and gallbladder can lift the sense of low mood, depression, of stagnation. It can support you in your self-care. Three more breaths here in lateral dragonfly to the right. And then let's release the left arm, rise up by helping our right hand to the earth. And then let's remove our cushions, bend into our knees. Maybe you hug that in, maybe you sway and windshield wiper your knees one way then the other. I'm going to move into a squat malasana. So here your squat can be, I invite you to sit on a bolster or a pillow or a low footstool. You don't have to, you can sit without any support here. So you'll have two options for your squat, either by sitting on something or supporting something. Just bring your hands together at the eyebrow center. Just for a moment, so wherever you are. And then we're going to bring our hands down towards the earth. So folding forward here. We won't go very far. Let's just rest our hands on the earth. Some of us may be able to cross this distance. Some of us may have more distance. You can always rest your hands on a pillow or cushion. So you could be sitting on a pillow or cushion, and you can be resting your hands on a pillow, cushion, or bolster. So for example, if you were sitting, in fact I've got so your arms are on the inside of your legs, your toes are turned out, your knees are turned out. Squat that can be supported. Allow your head to feel heavy, shoulders to soften. So imagine here that you are rooting into the earth like a tree. We can access our physical practice at different levels without frustration arising. If frustration bubbles up, then breathe and release that frustration with your out breath. This is a practice of clearing, of cleansing, of removing the debris to allow for new growth, for renewal, rebirth. One more full breath here in your version of Malasana. Lift your gaze and bring your hands back into prayer just for a moment at the eyebrow center. And we're going to move into a dangle before we come to the earth. So let's rise up. You can keep your feet fairly wide. Bend into your knees softly and then release your arms and hands down towards the earth. So you should be able to transition directly into dangle from your squat. Maybe you take hold of your opposite elbows. You can also rest your eyebrow center on a bolster if it feels that you need a little more support. So this is why bolsters are great, because it gives you an option of angling them and they can pretty much stay in place. Imagine that you are rooted through your feet into the earth. Your tailbone is lifting into the sky. Your crown is lowering down towards the earth. Releasing and letting go here. Feeling the extension in your spine. Dangling is a deep release for the liver. Observe how you feel in this dangle. Imagine that you have let go and released all that no longer serves you. Release the rigidity in your body, in your emotions, in your attitude by inviting and cultivating softness, surrender. Three more breaths here. From here, we're going to transition back to the earth into child's pose. So bend deeply into your knees and come down onto your knees. Your variation, knees together or knees as wide as the mat and big toes touch. You can rest your eyebrow center on a bolster, or you can rest your eyebrow center directly on the earth. Connect with your intentions. I intend. I move forward. I gaze upward. I connect with my vision, my hopes. I organize my energy to help me manifest this intention, to enable me to move forward. This is a time to grow and reach towards the sky while deeply rooted in the earth. Inhaling, lift your gaze. Let's walk your hands back towards your body. I'm going to come into a supported back bend, supported bridge variation. So have your a bolster or pillow or coconut that you need. And bring it underneath your knees. You're going to come down towards the earth, that back. And when you're on the earth, lift your sit bones and bring your pillow or cushions or bolster underneath your sacrum area. And then extend your legs long. If it feels comfortable, you will feel a compression here in the lower back. So this is working directly on the liver. If it doesn't feel comfortable, keep a bend in your knees. And then reach, let's create some space for myself, and then reach overhead with your arms. This is quite an intense pose. So do what you need to do by bending into your knees or keeping your arms alongside your body. I'm just going to shuffle down a little bit. If you wish, you can try bending into one knee and keeping one leg extended. That might support you. You may be having both of your knees in a bend to support your lower back. Keep checking in with how you're feeling. Tune in to the experience that you're having in your body. Letting go of rigidity also means not staying in a pose that feels uncomfortable or causes pain. Releasing rigidity means being responsive to the needs of your body, responsive to the cycles of nature, responsive to your own feelings. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. And then moving with care, great care here, bending into your knees, bringing your hands alongside your body. Before we move the bolster or pillow, let's bring our knees in towards us to have a little hug here. And then let's bring our toes back to the earth. Move the pillow or bolster to underneath our knees. I invite you to place your right foot on your bolster. Place your left hand at the top of your left leg. Then come into half happy baby. Bend into your right knee and take a hold of your right foot, either the outside edge of your right foot or perhaps your big toe. And then bend deeply into that right knee, bringing it in towards you. One more breath here. And then let's release that right foot back to the bolster or pillow for a moment. And then extend that leg and then bend into the left leg, placing that left foot on the bolster or pillow. And when you're ready, let's take hold of the left foot. So either the outside edge of the left foot or the big toe with your peace fingers bending into that left knee deeply. Right hand is on top of your right leg. The element of wood is about cultivating the optimism, the new intentions, new growth, the expansion, the uplifting energy of spring. And we do that by working on the liver and the gallbladder to release and detox in order to create space for this new growth. Think of it as a spring clean for your liver and gallbladder. One more breath here. Let's release the left foot back to the bolster. And then you can extend your legs long, coming into Shavasana. Closing your eyes, covering yourself with a blanket. Tucking in slightly your chin. The back of your neck is long. Standing tall in your truth by staying rooted. Yielding to the winds of life. Moving with agility in spirit, body, mind. Maintaining this upward gaze, this forward driving energy. Staying focused on your true life's purpose. Drawing nourishment from your roots to maintain this focus. Soften, soften through your whole body. Your toes, feet, ankles, lower legs, knees, upper legs, hips and pelvis, lower back, abdomen, middle and upper back, chest, shoulders, upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists, hands, fingers, the whole of your body, softening, releasing. Your jaw, cheeks, forehead, top of your head, the back of your head, the ears, the neck, the collarbone, the shoulders, both arms, your abdomen and chest, the back of your body, your hips and pelvis, both legs, both feet, the whole of your body softening here. I invite you to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you wish. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. With great respect and love, I honor you. I honor myself. Dhanyavad.